Hello, in this video, I'm going to be talking about what is the difference between the order date and the ship date. And how does the difference between the order date and the ship date affect our profit, my profit calculation. Hello, my name is Nhan Dinh, and I am the CEO of Seller Labs. If you like this video, click like and subscribe to our channel for news and insights for Amazon sellers. So we get this question a lot. On our dashboard, we put both sales and profit, and they don't always line up. Sometimes there's zero sales, so like by day, and then there's profit, and then vice versa. There's profit, but there's no sales. Well, why is that? So it's the answer lies in the way that Amazon presents information, and Amazon has multiple sources of information. So when a customer places an order, let's say they place on Monday, that's called the order date. And the order date shows up on the sales API in the back end where we get it, and the business report. And the business report, you can click on the dashboard, click sales, and here you can see in the business report. That's where the sales data is, but the challenge is it doesn't have any fees for profit calculation. Amazon will include other numbers like sales tax and canceled orders on there, and they don't update that number. So that if you're looking for the sales number to match, then you have to use the sales API. The problem is, let's say the order was ordered on Monday, but it was not shipped for 2 days later. On Wednesday, or even gets more complicated, or half of your order gets shipped on Monday and half gets shipped on Wednesday, and then half gets shipped on Thursday from another warehouse. So the second date that you have to keep in mind is the ship date. It's typically also the same as the transaction date. When Amazon ships it out, they credit your account, all the SKU level fees. The challenge is sales numbers. If you use the transaction data or the transaction API and get this data, the sales numbers does not match with the business report. So we match it with the ship date, then customers will click in and see that, oh, that sales number doesn't match with the Amazon numbers because they're using a different source of data. So that's where it's tricky for us to strike that balance, and that's why I'm making a video to explain the difference. And then keep in mind that when you're calculating profitability, you not only need the sales, the SKU level fees, but there's also other fees that can affect your profitability. For example, fees and before I get to the other fees, you can get the transaction data by going to the Start Payments, under Payments, and click on Reports Repository. Right here, and click on the unified transaction reports, all unified reports and it looks something like this, where it says date, order, SKU, and all the fees, and then you have your total over here. So that's an example of where you can get your transaction data. How it can affect your profitability is because, yes, you have these SKU level fees, you can calculate profitability, but are you taking into account the storage fees? The storage fees Amazon gives us only once a month. They sum up all the storage costs, and then they take a snapshot date on the 15th of each month, but it shows up on the transactions report around the 21st, 22nd, in the month, around there, 23rd too. And then you also have other fees like monthly storage fees, which show up on the 8th as an aggregate on the unified transaction report. And then throughout the month, you have inbound fees, placement fee, removal orders, grade and resale, manually processing, and FEA adjustment. So when you're calculating profitability, are you taking all these into account? If you're taking all these into account, then if you do it on a day-by-day basis, sometimes you'll get a sale of $200, and then bam, you got a negative $5,000 for that day because the inventory storage just happened to hit, or the monthly storage, inventory storage just happened to hit on that month, or the monthly storage fees just happened to hit on that day. So those are a couple of things that we've been wrestling with at Seller Labs. But in general, what we found the best is it's best to calculate, if you're calculating profitability, what we found is calculating profit account wide by month, which takes into all these fees, so you get overall fees. That tends to work best. If you are calculating on a SKU level profit, how is my SKU doing from week to week minus advertising, We do have SKU economics for that, an app called SKU economics for that. But that you can get granular into the week by week. Just keep in mind that it does not take into account the storage fees situation. And if you're trying to calculate profit by day, in my opinion, it's not useful because there's so much noise in the calculation. That's why I tend to do just either weekly or monthly would be best for that. So that's basically how this video. I wanted to explain that there's a difference between the order date and ship date. You think that sales should be calculated from the business reports where it matches Amazon, or the transaction data where it doesn't quite match Amazon because it doesn't include things like sales tax and canceled orders. So also the other question I wanted to ask you is how do you think, how granular do you think we should calculate our profitability? Should it be daily, weekly, or monthly? That's it. Thank you, and have a good one. See you next time.